new month of Adar. This is the month of victory over the Amalekites. In Jewish history, this is the month of Purim. And I have the merit to go up to the Temple Mount. And it was my son Elazar, of course, who dragged me up here. Because the youth, they take you in good directions these days. Let's look down at the Western Wall. Okay, but we're going up here on this bridge to the Temple Mount. Okay, we have a nice and energetic group. Here, take another look at the Western Wall. There it is. And the Western Wall is, of course, the outer rim of the Temple Mount. And this is the way we go. Take a look. Nobody's wearing leather shoes. People are either barefoot or wearing non-leather shoes. And up we go. We have police protection with us. Of course, it's still the Middle East. We still have issues. And it's also the first day of Ramadan. And so for the first day of Ramadan is ostensibly a time of tension, but in truth, the Ramadan celebrants are fasting, and so they're not really found on the Temple Mount on Ramadan mornings in any case. Now the police is signaling to the group to stop singing, please. He says, I want you guys to go up and enjoy, but I have to explain to you what is allowed, what not allowed. You can sing as much as you want, but no dancing. On the east side, you can bow down, you can do other stuff. Okay, so he's basically saying there are places that you're allowed to have very public displays and places that you're less allowed. And this is a rowdy group. I mean, they're energetic. That's what I really meant. Nothing rowdy about Jewish people singing on the Temple Mount. I just mean to say this is a young yeshiva group that has energy. Toda rabba, toda rabba. Thank you. There's the police. They're protecting us here, making sure shalom aleichem. And they're making sure that we're safe, making sure that there's not too much friction around here. And so we go up to the Temple Mount. Okay, awesome group. And they're singing the Hallel prayer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidishanu b'mitzvotav vetzivanu likro et hallel. I'm going to concentrate on the Hallel prayer now. Ve'et Yaakov me'am loez Hayta Yehuda lekadsho Yisrael mamshelotav. And here's our first look at the Temple Mount itself. Excuse me, what I mean is the Dome of the Rock, which houses the Holy of Holies area, according to most opinions in any case. And there it is, that we know where we are. Yisrael Yivarech et Beit Aharon Yivarech Yireh. There's Al-Aqsa. Atem Ladonai. There's police behind us as well. Haaretz hashamayim shamayim Ladonai Ve'aretz natan livnei adam. There's the Al-Aqsa Mosque. And there is the Golden Dome. It's a super historic plaza built by King Herod. And the Hallel prayer is the Rosh Chodesh prayer, the new month prayer, which is sung in honor of the new month, in honor of God, who has renewed the month. And while I'm making a video, I've got to balance a lot of stuff here because I have to, on the one hand, give you guys a little perspective of what's going on here. On the other hand, I got to be here also with my son and give him his time, and also, most importantly, is to actually be in concentration in prayer and to thank God for the opportunity of being here, which is what this is all about. Coming here is, you have to dunk in a mikvah and the ritual bath and prepare yourself, and so therefore, once you make it here, it's important to dedicate time to really pray for your beloveds, your family, and the people with needs, and the Jewish people, and the state of Israel, and this world that has a lot of challenges as well. So, got to concentrate on that as well, balancing a lot. But what an honor and a pleasure it is to be here. The word pleasure is not exactly the right word. It's a responsibility. It's a gift, and it's a pleasure in the sense that working, trying to get closer to God and working on yourself and on the nation's fate is the greatest gift that we have, to have the opportunity to make our life in His image. We turn towards the eastern wall of the Temple Mount, and this is where we generally have a lot more freedom to be expressive religiously. Okay, this young man decided to pray in a place that's not allowed, and he says he's getting in trouble with the police a little bit for going to an area that he's not allowed to go to. I'm not sure why he decided to prostrate himself there, but I think he wanted to push the boundaries. Behind me is the Golden Dome, and just at the same time, I look behind me and I see so much destruction, so much broken pediments. And look at this, just stacks of rocks on the Temple Mount. This is certainly the holiest place for the Jewish people, but it's also an incredible place by itself. It shouldn't be derelict like this. And that's part of the problem with jihadism, is that it just sows destruction wherever it goes. And that's painful. It's painful to see so much. Look at this. Just look at this. What is this? Like some kind of, I saw this kind of stuff when I was at the Acropolis, and I thought to myself, this is not respectable. And so too here on the Temple Mount, this is a live place. This is a place of continuous worship. It's not a place of some kind of past paganism or idolatry. It's a current place of worship and prayer. It should not look like this. And one of the things that we have to do is beautify this land and work on making it a world spiritual center. And under jihad Islam control, this is not a beautiful sight. And look here. I want to show you. Look at this pediment right here. This is actually part of a pillar. Look at this. And it's just totally derelict. And look where we are. Look at this place. This is the most important spiritual center in the world, and yet it's forgotten, it's broken, and it's not the respectable place it's supposed to be. Now it's time to prostrate ourselves. So let's get to the business of bowing before the one God.
עכשיו אמרתי את השם שלי פה, כולם כאילו שבתור ותגיד, יאללה תביא, תגיד עכשיו מתקדם, צדיק המחזיר שכינתו לציון עדים אנחנו נחשתו אדוני אלוהינו לאבותינו לעולם ויצאו נצור חיינו מגן ישנתו לדור ודור נודה לך אני ונהפוכו אשר ישתו
So this is a Purim song that the Jews will control their enemies, will rule their enemies in the end of time. And so they did in the time of Purim. And we're in the new month of Adar. And the Iranian enemy seeks to destroy Israel. And we have other enemies as well. If it's Qatar, if it's China, if it's Russia, if it's all kinds of elements throughout the world, if it's the energies of Esau and Ishmael and the heir of Rav, the mixed multitude. There's various energies that want to undo Jewish strength and Jewish presence in Jerusalem. And Jerusalem is being built. Torah is being taught. This next generation, as you can see, is strong. And so my warning to the Amalekites, it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out. The destruction of the Jewish people is just not something that's going to happen. In any case, Am Yisrael is returning to Jerusalem, and there it is behind me. These are the Purim songs and this Rosh Chodesh of Adar.
אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Something that has to be noticed is that the leading officer here is an officer who's wearing tzitzit. He's got 3 stars, which means he's a high-ranking police officer. He's wearing tzitzit with the blue string tchelet. He's wearing a kippah, obviously, and he's an observant, God-fearing police officer. And that is a big change as well. You need to say an officer like this has made it up through the ranks and is now in charge of our tour on the Temple Mount. And he himself is a believer and is very much part of the national movement towards reclaiming the Temple Mount and towards Jewish sovereignty here. And yes, he's making us fulfill the law and the requirements that are currently in place, even if they might not be totally fair and great. But the bottom line is, he's with us. And that's who's now in the Israeli police, which is a big deal, which is also part of the realization that the Israeli police in the state of Israel is becoming more and more Jewish outwardly and in belief. And so it's a real pleasure to see an officer like this leading us today on the Temple Mount. Interesting, there is a yeshiva of students out there that are praying outside of the Temple Mount because they probably are not Temple Mount goers, and so therefore they are outside of the Temple Mount, but they are yearning for the Temple Mount, and so they're outside of the gates of the Temple Mount praying, and we wave to them as brothers of really the same ideology, but with permissions and with understandings that you can go to the Temple Mount, should go to the Temple Mount. And so that was like an interesting little visual that you see the other yeshiva outside of Temple Mount, but praying with the same fervency for to God to bless the new month that we're entering, the month of Adar. Okay, last moments on the Temple Mount. And here's a Muslim guy praying towards Mecca. Okay, Jerusalem not being the holy city for Islam, and certainly the holy city for the Jewish people. And now we are leaving the Temple Mount. We're getting off the Temple Mount. A lot is said about praying for your needs, praying for your family, praying for the nation of Israel. But the truth is that the nation of Israel is supposed to also pray for the world. That's part of our job, is to have a global outlook. And right now, the globe is in a tizzy. We got a lot of bad agents out there that are darkening this world and taking it away from a true service of God, and also taking it away from joy and from progress and from beauty. And so we have to really pray right now as the Jewish people here in Jerusalem. As Jerusalem is being rebuilt, so too we ask God to protect the nations of this world, that He should shine His face to them, that they will know Him and honor Him. And I want to pray specifically for the Iranian people who are being shot in the streets when they protest. And so this is a moment to really ask God for a healing of this world. And this is the place to do it, on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. And here we come right now to the site of the Golden Dome, which is the Dome of the Rock, which is where the Holy of Holies was, according to most opinions. And here is the back of the temple, really, and the temple faces east that way. So we would be in the back of the temple, and we are yearning for the third temple, and we're actively working on building it. I thank you so much for being with me here on the Temple Mount today, and I'm sending you blessings from the land of blessings, from the heart of the land of blessings, here in Jerusalem, the holy city, and with God's presence. If you love what we do out here on the Temple Mount, Jerusalem, and the land of Israel, you want to also beautify the land of Israel and strengthen it, restore it, please go to buymeacoffee.com/Yishai or fightforisrael.org, fightforisrael.org. Thank you for being with me, and thank you, Hashem, for the privilege of being with you here on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem this Rosh Chodesh Adar. God bless you guys, and shalom.